Good morning, children. So, we have studied about AC, the average value of AC, and the RMS value of AC we have seen. Now, today what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about how the voltage and current are related in a resistor. That means we connect a battery to a resistor. Sorry, not a battery. We connect an AC source to a resistor and we study this through this resistor how the current is flowing. So here let's consider an AC source. This AC source is represented as this symbol, and this is creating a voltage, a varying voltage. That varying voltage is V0 sin omega t, and there is a resistor connected in the circuit, so the current I passes through the resistor. Now this voltage, we have this V0 sin omega t. We know if V is the voltage in a resistor R, the current is calculated as V by R. So if I divide this equation number 1 with R, I am getting the current. So here I get V by R, here I get V0 by R sin omega t. So V by R is I, and V0 by R is I0. So I get the current I at any time t is I0 sin omega t. That is, the current and the voltage are varying as sin omega t. So what we say is the two are in phase. That means how the current is varied depend on how the voltage is varied. So in the same order they go, that is the same phase. We say that this voltage and the current are in phase. We have a particular diagram showing how the voltage and current are related. So that diagram is called phasor diagram, and here is a phasor diagram for a resistor. So here we have the voltage shown, and the current, and also the angle here. So here there is an angle, that is omega t. That angle we mark from the x-axis, and we first draw the voltage V, because we apply voltage then we study about current. So whenever we want to draw a phasor diagram, we will mark an angle. That angle is what the angle associated with the sine value here. So here is the angle omega t, and V will be marked voltage. After that we check how the current is. Current and voltage are in same phase, but here we got V by R as current, so which means current is a little lesser than voltage. V divided by R is current, so current is lesser. That's why in this V and I are shown with the same line, but V is higher, I is lesser. They make, both I and V make same angle omega t. This can be represented in another way also, that is by wave diagram. So here is a wave diagram, and that wave diagram shows voltage or current with the angle. So usual AC signal, that is V, voltage is shown as the bold line here with a different integral, that is t by 2, t, 3 by 2, t and 2t, like different time intervals. The AC wave is shown here. Current also is in same phase, which means when V is 0, I should be 0. When V is maximum, I is also maximum. Again when V becomes 0, I is also 0. Likewise it goes. That means they are in same phase. So on the y-axis we can show either V or I. Both are shown here, and they are in phase. So this is the phasor diagram and the wave diagram of AC applied to a resistor. Now let's see how AC behaves towards an inductor. We have studied about inductor. Inductor is a coil, a solenoid, and its inductance is given as L. So here is again a AC source connected to a coil, and I current flows through it. Now our intention is, we have V is equal to V0 sin omega t, applied voltage is V0 sin omega t. We check what is the current I. In the previous case we got it as I0 sin omega t. Here we will check whether it is same I0 sin omega t or is there anything else. So to find the current, what we do is we apply Kirchhoff rule here, that is a loop rule or the second rule, which shows the total potential difference across the loop is 0. So here the potential differences are applied voltage is here V and the voltage across L across the inductor. So the voltage across inductor was, or the EMF produced, or the self EMF produced was, induced EMF produced was minus L di by dt, which we have studied in electromagnetic induction. So here is a voltage V and here is a drop, that is minus L di by dt. So as per Kirchhoff rule, this EMF, that is in the closed loop, V minus L di by dt should be 0, which means we get V is equal to L di by dt. Bring this dt here, you get this equation, and here is di, keep this di here, bring L here, so V by L dt. Now we can, once we get a di, we can integrate this di to get the current I. So we integrate this RHS, we get V by L dt. V value we substitute as V0 sin omega t. This is here V0 sin omega t. Substitute V0 sin omega t, and V0 and L are constant, so took it outside. Then integrating sin omega t dt. Already we told if you integrate sin omega t dt, we get minus cos omega t by omega. So that also we have here cos omega t by omega. So this omega also we bring here. Minus cos omega t we can write as sin of omega t minus pi by 2. This comes from the equation cos theta is sin 90 minus theta. Cos theta is sin 90 minus theta. So cos omega t is sin 90 minus omega t, or pi by 2 minus omega t, or minus cos omega t is sin of omega t minus pi by 2. So these all mathematical relationship you should by heart. So here we get this takes the format I equal to some V0, that is V0 by L omega, which was a constant maximum value sin omega t minus pi by 2. So here usually in the equation for I we have I equal to I0 sin omega t. So here we have V0 by L omega sin omega t minus pi by 2. So leave this term, concentrate on this. This should be I0. If this is I0, in the case of resistor it was V0 by R, but here instead of that we have V0 by L omega, which means here L omega is a quantity which is equivalent to the resistance in the case of a resistor. So this quantity L omega is the resistance offered by the inductor to the flow of AC, and we call it as inductive reactance. So this inductive reactance is nothing but the resistance offered by the inductor to the flow of current, to the flow of AC. So L omega is the inductive reactance, which is XL, represented as XL, which is L into omega. Omega is 2 pi nu. Now let's consider again the phasor diagram. So here in this case we have the phasor diagram of voltage and current, but here voltage and current are not in the same order, they are not in the same phase. Voltage was V equal to V0 sin omega t, but current I is V0 by L omega sin omega t minus pi by 2. There is a difference of minus pi by 2. So current is at the back, it is lagging by pi by 2. So here if I draw Vs here, making an angle omega t, I is at the back by 90 degree. That is why we draw like this. Similarly, wave diagram. So here if first we mark V, always mark current by an angle 90 degree back, which means if voltage becomes maximum, current should be 0. Everything shifted towards the left by 90 degree. Another important point regarding inductor is about the reactance, inductive reactance. It depends on the frequency nu. So if nu increases, frequency of AC increases, inductive reactance also increases. So more frequency, more is the resistance offered by the inductor. So that if we plot as a graph, we have frequency and resistance offered by inductor, that is inductive reactance. They are proportional, so we get a straight line graph. Let us now check how AC behaves to capacitor. So here is a capacitor C connected to the AC source, and the applied voltage is V0 sin omega t. Here we can have the simplest relation between the voltage V and the capacitance C through the charge Q, that is Q is CV. We have the equation for capacitance, that is Q is equal to CV. So from here what we can do is we can differentiate this Q, and we can get dQ by dt, that is the current I. We will substitute for V also, V0. So differentiating this and substituting V, we get C V0 d by dt of sin omega t. D by dt of sin omega t is cos omega t into omega. So here is omega brought towards V0, so V0 c omega. Cos omega t we can write as sin omega t plus pi by 2. So here is sin of omega t plus pi by 2. So this term V0 c omega, we write as V0 by 1 by c omega, because everywhere we need voltage by some quantity, that is the resistance, then it becomes the current. So here is I0 sin of omega t plus pi by 2. So here we have 1 by c omega, this is the resistance offered by the capacitor, that is our capacitive reactance. We call it as capacitive reactance, represented as XC. This reactance is X, C stands for the capacitor. So here we can see inductive capacitive reactance and the frequency are inversely proportional. Let's check the phasor diagram also. Here we have the current is plus pi by 2, that is leading the voltage, advanced than the voltage. So just opposite to the inductor, we draw the diagram, both the diagrams. Phasor diagram as V, we mark with an angle omega t, but the current is advanced by 90 degree. So here is voltage, current is already up. When voltage is 0, current is maximum. So this is how the phasor diagram of capacitor goes. So here if we plot a graph between capacitive reactance Xc and the frequency omega or nu, we told the capacitive reactance and the frequency are inversely proportional, so it should be a decreasing graph. So that's all about how AC behaves with inductor, capacitor and resistor separately.